Alright guys, we are going to start on the lesson 30 problem set. Go ahead and flip to the back because our focus is going to be on number 4. Again, I'm going to work several examples with you, and then I'm going to give you some time to try some on your own, and then when you try some on your own, we will come back together and talk about them and talk through the answers. So we're going to do the first two together, A and C, and then I'm going to stop and let you try a couple on your own, and then we'll come back and do some more together and then try some more on your own. So it's asking us to solve, and there are a couple different methods and ways that we can do this, but I kind of want to talk you through just the basic steps of how to add these numbers and try to help you understand the process a little bit more. So the first problem that I have here says 4 2/3 plus 2/3. So when I look at this, I can take my whole number 4 and then I'm adding these two fractions together. So I have 4 4/3. Well, I can't keep 4 4/3 as my answer because this 4/3 is an improper fraction. So I'm going to take my 4/3 and I'm going to split it up using that number bond that we've been talking about, and I'm going to pull out my whole number, which would be 1, and then underneath here I'll even write like 3/3 because that's how much goes into the whole number 1, which leaves me with 1/3. So I have this whole number 4 up here, and I need to bring that down. So I'm going to kind of drop it over here. So now I need to kind of add these together. I now have 4 plus, remember I broke this down with my number bond, plus 1 with my whole number, plus 1/3, which gives me a total of 5 1/3 as my answer. So let's try that process again with C. I think this says 5/6. I wrote over it. Now I can't tell for sure. There we go. I have 5 4/6 plus 5/6. So in thinking about the same thing, if I'm talking about 5 4/6 plus 5/6, that means I have the whole number 5, and then I'm going to add my two fractions together. 5/6 plus 4/6 is 9/6. Well, I can't leave that as my answer. I have to take this improper fraction and fix it. So again, I'm going to have to bring my whole number 5 down here because I'm going to have to add it into my total in a minute. I'm going to take my number bond. I have 9/6. I'm going to pull out my whole number of 1, which is 6/6, and that leaves me 3/6. So now I can add 5 plus 1 plus 3/6, and I can get my total, which is 6 as my whole number, 3/6 as my fraction. So I have 6 3/6 as my answer. Now I want you all to try 4B and 4D, and then we'll talk through those together. Okay, so trying to do it where I'm not showing you all of the work that I've done down here. Okay, on 4B, I've done the same thing. Remember that we did over here with 4A. I had 3 3/5 plus 4/5. I had my whole number, and I'm adding my two fractions together of 7/5. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring this whole number down, but I'm going to have to use a number bond and break apart this improper fraction. So 7/5 is turned into a mixed number of 1 2/5, and then I'm adding together for my total answer of 4 2/5. And then D, I'm adding 7/8 plus 6 4/8. So I'm adding those two fractions together for a total of 6 and 11/8. But I can't leave it that way because 11/8 is an improper fraction. I'm utilizing that number bond to pull out my whole number of 1, leaving me 3/8. Then I can add 6 plus 1/3 for a total of 7 3/8. So again, it's just that practice of using that number bond to help us break down that improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number so that it's easier for us to add. And we've actually used number bonds a lot. And so we're just taking that and applying it to a little bit of a new concept today. So I'm going to come back over here to E. And E says 7/10 plus 7 and 9/10. So I'm looking at my whole number 7. I'm just going to go ahead and write that down. And then I'm going to add 7/10 plus 9/10. I'm going to add the two fractions together. So I have 16/10. But that's an improper fraction, so I'm going to need to break that down with a number bond. Oh, I need to fix this over here. There we go. So I have a whole number 1 here, and then that leaves me 6/10. Then I have my whole number 7, so I can add those all together now, and my total would be 8/6. Just don't forget about adding this whole number back after you convert this into a mixed number. And then G, I know the fractions look a little bit scary because you look at the numbers, but G is a lot of the same thing, guys. And there's actually another method that you could do if you would like, and I can show you here with G. You have 2 and 70/100 plus 87/100. You can do the same method that we've been doing, or you can do a different method. I'm going to show you it down here. You could take this 87/100 and you could make it into 30/100 and 57/100, because when you break it down that way, you have 70/100 here that you can add to that. And then that would get you your whole number. So 70 plus 30 gives you a whole number of 1, which would give you a whole number of 3 when you add it to 2. And then you would have 57/100. And that's just another option for you as far as splitting it out with your number bond and still creating your whole number that way, because you can add 70 and the 30 together. I want you to take a look now at 4F and 4H, and I want you to try those, and then we'll go over those together. Okay, on 4F and 4H, we're going to talk through these. We have 9 and 7/12 plus 11/12. I'm adding those two fractions together for a total of 9 and 18/12. I can't leave it that way. 18/12 is an improper fraction, so I'm using my number bond to create a mixed number here. I have my whole number of 1 with a left over fraction of 6/12. If I combine my mixed number and my whole number over here, I have my total answer of 10 and 6/12. And then H, it looks a lot like G. I had 50/100 plus 16 and 78/100. I'm taking my whole number of 16, and then I combine the two fractions together for 128/100. I split that up with my number bond to pull out my whole number of 1, leaving me a fraction of 28 1/100ths. And then I can add 16 plus 1 for 17 with my fraction of 28 100ths as my answer. That is all for the Lesson 30 problem set. I hope that you found this helpful, and I'm super proud of you. Good job, guys.